Today I'm going to be attempting the 15-minute painting challenge. Wish me luck, and let's jump into it. Alright, so we're going to begin by making sure our brush is nice and damp. Grab an abundance of our titanium white, a little bit of our ultramarine blue, hint of our oxide black, and I do mean just a hint. We're rendering a grayish blue for the real backing sky, the area in which the warmth from the sunset hasn't really reached. We're going to apply it in 3 different areas. Here, here, and right down here. This is where we have all of the openings in the clouds. And now we're going to go for a little bit of a darker mix for it. A little bit more blue, a little bit more oxide black, and we're just creating a simple gradient. Now we are applying this in 3 different areas because A, it was that way in the reference photo, but B, and more importantly, typically you want to apply colors in 3 different places, or rather an odd number of places in your canvas to keep it more dynamic and flowing. So by having it in all 3 of these, we have a good start. Now we'll switch over to another flat-headed brush that isn't with blue. We'll grab some of our Cad Orange, our Naples Yellow, a little bit of titanium white, and by a little bit I mean a lot. And we'll mix up a nice orange here. We'll apply that right under this larger cloud, as you can see. Work that down. Then we'll apply some extra Naples Yellow and titanium white right into this middle section. Just diversify that highlight. Show that there is that golden glow from the sun coming from that direction. And then as we get lower, we're going to do a couple of things. 1, we're going to add more Naples Yellow. 2, we're going to add a hint of Oxide Black. This is going to gray it down. This is going to darken it. This is just going to give us a more calm horizon, which will allow us to build into the beautiful highlights that we have right above. So let's make sure that is nicely applied, like so. Going to actually double down on the titanium white and the Naples Yellow above it. Really trying to get a good thick application here. Like that. And now we can actually take this pigment, this really nice bright pigment, and we can work it up into this top cloud using this brush because it can render these really nice sharp edges for our clouds. It's also wonderful because as a large flat-headed brush, it's great for mixing, moving a lot of paint about in a quick period of time. And we'll just blend that down into this area. We'll make sure that we add enough paint that it stays wet for a while. We'll add a little bit of orange for the backing of it. And we'll just blend that out nice and soft. Lovely. Okay, now we'll actually start working on the clouds that are a bit closer to us, namely this one. And for that, we'll grab a lot of extra Cad Orange. We'll grab some of our deep violet for the first time. Always fun. Hint of our Oxide Black. I do mean just a hint because, again, it's a very powerful pigment. And a little bit of our titanium white. Now we'll apply that, as you can see, right above our orange. And we're going to actually blend it into the orange to a point. We're going to start making horizontal strokes that work their way out into that space, like so. We can create little clouds in the distance using this, like that. You can see they're so soft, they're so subtle. Now, while it's all wet, is an ideal time to do this because it's a wet onto wet application. And then we're going to continue moving up in our painting. So we're going back to the palette. We're going to grab more of our purple. We're going to add some ultramarine blue for the first time. We're going to add a hint more oxide black. We're going darker and darker as we get higher and higher because we are moving farther away from the light. And we'll simply blend that into our last application. Now yet again, darker, oxide black, ultramarine blue, right up towards the top here. Nice and dramatic mix. Very good. A little more blue, maybe a little bit of titanium white, just to bring the color back. Yeah, that's perfect. That's what I was really looking for. Friendly reminder not to go with the first color you always mix. if you feel like you can do better. If you feel like there's a slightly better option or rendition out there, right? Now we'll blend this back and forth. Get some smooth blends. And then we'll get some wispy movements towards the top. Just be playful with the brush. Allow these little clouds to sputter out. And that's a lovely cloud, at least the beginning of it. So now let's move on to this one right here, and that's going to be more of this pigment as a whole. So we'll grab that, start to work it up like so. We know that it comes back down, goes out, and I'm going to try to use a good amount of paint here. So I'll remix some. Big part of this is keeping enough paint wet on the canvas at all times. And that means painting with an excess of paint than we typically would. Just add some extra warmth. Have that blend down softly. I like that. And then as we get towards the back, that's when we introduce more of the blues and the purples. A little bit more Oxide Black. There we are. And we can work that through there. That'll be towards the back of the... What I'm thinking of is a wing. To me, this looks a lot like a bird, the cloud itself. And I'm trying to picture it that way as it's helping me keep form. Curious, actually, what you feel like it looked like initially. You know, we all look up at the clouds and we say it looks like this and that. Curious what you thought of maybe it looked like from the thumbnail or from the onset of the painting. If you're painting something, do you feel like yours looks like a bird as well? Be kind of interesting if you followed the lesson and it looked like a different animal or shape, right? But you never know. We take artistic liberties, we make things our own, and it's a very playful act to paint. It's a very creative act, it's a very individual act. Even when you're following a lesson like this, we all interject portions of ourselves and make it our own. So, curious what yours ends up looking like. And I do encourage you to do this with me. I know it's fun to watch these lessons online, but you know, these are designed to help you learn how to paint clouds as well and how to help you become a stronger painter. I know a lot of us really struggle with clouds, especially when we start painting, and they can be a bit intimidating. But these fun little quick studies give us an opportunity to try a lot of things and learn a lot of things quickly. It's why I started doing 10-minute paintings back in the day. It's why I re-picked up the model with these 15-minute painting lessons. And I just think it adds a lot of opportunity for growth and fun. Just doing the challenge in itself is always a good time. That said, I think we're off to a strong start with these little clouds. So we'll go a little bit darker with our mix, a little more blue, further diversify. We'll add this darker hue into the back of some of these clouds that are really far away from the light. And that's something we're always thinking about. Where is the light? How is it impacting the pigments? And here, we're painting this in the farthest places from the light. Just building up those dramatic effects, softly going back and blending all of the edges, which is still nice and easy because, again, we are working with acrylics. We're keeping our brush and our canvas damp. So all a wet into wet process. So far, so good. Let's now paint the bottom of the painting. Just get that done so we can go back into some details. So we're using a lot of our Oxide Black, our deep purple. There we go. Grab a bit more. Doing this for the base, as you can see. But then I think we need a brighter pigment for the top. So grab an abundance of our Cad Orange, mix that in, work that up here, and then if this dries, then we can go back and we can add some highlights and maybe some details. But if we don't have time, I think this will look great too. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so from here, again, heading back up, adding details and such, I think we'll switch on over to a liner brush for some detail work. And with this, I'm going to grab some of the highlight that we had in our mix that we used earlier, and I'm just going to do some little wispy clouds. It's important that you do small clouds next to your big clouds because it'll add a lot of scale. It'll make these guys feel so much more voluminous. And these are so easy to do. You might as well just tap in a couple. They're little lines and squiggles, they're taps, they're all of that, right? Just little bits of detail here and there. Little different clouds. We can also do so with the more dark purple mix towards what we have at the top. And that means going in here. I think I need a bit more of a blue mix with some titanium white. Let's try that. Oh yeah, that's what we were looking for. You want to make sure that your brush is really damp through this. That way the bristles are condensed and you can make the smallest marking possible. It's also worth noting when you want to make small markings, you apply as little pressure as you can with the brush. That'll have a big impact. When you apply a lot of pressure, your bristles, they kind of condense and get thicker. But if you paint like this, then it stays pretty easy. Now, let's go back and just fix up this area now that it's had a little bit of time to dry. Hopefully that is also a reminder that you don't have to get things right the first time. You can go back and edit them. It doesn't have to be a scary process. Maybe we do some extra little wispy clouds back here. Maybe we use this to clean up this area as well. It's a little toothy. You can see the canvas showing through in a number of areas, and we'll just add some little wispy semi-transparent clouds there. Maybe we bring this up into this area as well. Yeah, I like that. I like all of that. Now, I think I'll grab really any brush to do a brand new blend. This is a smaller flathead, and we'll mix up some highlight for here using our titanium white, our Naples Yellow, our Cad Orange, just like so. A little brighter. I love that. It's close to the color of the sky, and that's what we're looking for. So now we'll grab this and we'll start working it back into our clouds. I'm going to be very careful to not make big markings or impressions. This is just light from the horizon catching the base of our clouds and rendering these beautiful little shelves. It's a subtle technique. You don't want to go too bright, and I've done tests where it's a bit brighter, where it's a bit more of a titanium white heavy mix, and I didn't like that as much. I think it really needs to be the colors that you already have in your sky, and that's what's going to give you the best results. There we go. Do a couple little ones, little taps here and there. Again, scale, so important in a painting like this. We can do a little bit up here. Maybe a little cloud in this area. I think that's a neat standout piece. You can see how this is the head and leads into the wing. Pretty neat. Okay, lots of additional little taps, more and more detail to add scale. We can bring this up into here, do a little additional clouds. And then I think we're going to go back into the darker color to add more clouds up here and here. We can bring them down to this space just a little bit, diversifying our palette, but also sharing colors from the top of the painting into the bottom. Also important. We're down to about 20 seconds, so I think with this time, I'm going to just try to add a little bit of highlight into the water. You could also make this ground. You could really make this whatever you like. But horizontal, little markings like that. Just try to get a little bit of a shimmer. There we go. That right there, 15 minutes on the clock. A lovely little painting. And you know, I'm really proud of what we were able to do in this period. That is fun. However, you know me, I have a hard time putting down the brush, and I didn't, so there is now an hour-long version of the painting, which just continues to add details, complexify it. You can watch said additional time up over on Patreon, where you can also get the color analysis video, where I break down all the colors in the reference photo, decide on our palette. You can also get the traceable, the real-time drawing video of the traceable, where we talk about compositional elements, how I go about drawing clouds, and a bunch of other stuff. If you're interested in doing the deep dive on this lesson and just clouds in general, there's a link in the description to Patreon and all of that. But regardless, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this community. I'm going to do another one of these next Saturday. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel because these are a lot of fun. We're going to do a lot of them. With that, again, as always, stay creative.